So today I decided I was going to take a crack at modifying my PSP with custom firmware. Now the one problem is obviously you're going to need a memory stick duo, which I thought I didn't have until I remembered one of these old phones I have in my massive 9-litre tub full of them. One of them I think had a memory card in it, which was a Sony Ericsson W850i. Now what I did was I backed up the contents of the card off camera, so no one needs to worry about that. So now that's out of the way, and get rid of the phone because we don't need that anymore. Here's what we need: a 2GB memory stick duo. And what we're going to do is we're going to insert it into the PSP. Obviously this is a bit of a tricky process as I'm working on a slope, but we'll get the PSP set up and the homebrew guide up, and we're going to follow it basically based off that. So here is what it says. So this will custom firm on the PSP. I got this guide off r/PSP, it's on the slide bar. It says, depending on your PSP model, you may need to install Infinity or CCPL to make it permanent to any PSP model, Pro or LME. You need to update 6 or something before installing the firmware. A few things to note. Use Chrono Switch to revert to the original firmware if you currently have Infinity installed. This PSP is stock. And update the firmware, the official firmware, if you're any older version of custom firmware. You should have over 80% battery life. Keep the thing plugged in. We've got the charger thing, and the battery is pretty good. Well, mine's obviously a PSP 1000, so oh god, there's lots of downloads I can do. 1000 is able to have custom firmware, obviously, because it's old. PSP loads of custom firmware files on boots. This is preferred method for this model over installing Infinity. Infinity isn't custom installed. Which is better? Me, Pro. I personally use Me and find that the plugin manager is a helpful feature isn't included in. Well, 6.60 and 6.61, they sound like firmware revisions. So let's get the PSP. Let's double check what our setting is. Should say, there we go, system information. I am still getting used to, yeah, 6, there we go, 6.620. I don't think 620 is the latest firmware revision. Installation, ICPL flasher. Oh, okay. So it needs either 6.60 or 6.61, so we need to go up here. Update PSP official firmware, because we're going to have to apparently update this. Have at least 80% battery life, make sure the battery will not fall out while I've got the cover, and keep the charger plugged in. Yeah, I can do that. Please follow the instructions on this page from Sony. Web archive, PlayStation support, PSP system update. Oh, piss off. Don't want that. Okay. Agree and download now. eBoot can't. Why can't it be downloaded securely? Keep it anyways. I don't care. Right, we have eBoot PDP, so that's good. Let's go back to these here. Just make sure to follow it exactly. Please notice the folder names and folder layout presented on that page. Huh? I don't remember. I'm gonna have to go back, I am so sorry. This is gonna be long, so I'm gonna read up on this and we'll get back. So I've read the instructions, and what it basically says is to create the following folder tree like this. So this PC, whatever memory stick duo name is, in this case as it came out of a phone, it's called phone card. Create a folder called PSP, within that folder create a folder called game, and within that folder create a game folder called update. And in the update folder, make sure this says eBoot PBP, and basically copy that from your downloads directly into this. It'll copy over, assuming you have enough space. This is a 2GB card, I don't know how much crap is already on it. There we go. It's now stored on there. Now once we've done that, 3, download the update data and save it in the update folder. Huh? Weird. Let's go back to the actual firmware hacking guide. Official firmware downloads. Well, we want 6.61. And I think the guide did tell us to stick it in the update folder. Of course, it's on Mega, which is the most reliable source of file sharing I've ever seen. I've never really had a Mega link that's dead, except maybe one. But whatever it is, probably wasn't important because I don't care. There we go, it's completed, it's downloaded. Now what we need to do is, I'll go back. Yeah, place the eBoot file in a folder named update. From USB mode, view games list. Huh. Okay. This is very confusing. Launch it to follow the directions to update 6.60 or 6.61. Oh. So disconnect from USB mode or something. God, I'm gonna break things. It says in your games list. PSP update version 6.61. Okay. Now for this, I'm going to plug the system in. It's vitally important that you make sure the system is plugged in, because otherwise things will go wrong and you'll regret it. So while that's basically doing its thing, I'm going to read up some more on this guide and we'll get back once the PSP is updated to version 6.61. Oh, speaking of the devil, there it is. So I'll get back to you in just a sec. Okay, so we are now running system software version 6.61, which is good. Now, here we have, again, the slightly terrifying looking download screen on the computer, which tells us what firmware do we want. I don't know, so let's go back to the introduction thing. It says, I personally use ME, and I find the program manager is a helpful feature that isn't included in Pro. So in that case, if it's got stuff that isn't included in Pro, we're going with me. So we have 6.61. Hopefully not named after that fabled Windows version, which actually isn't as bad as everyone makes out. Installation, ICPL flasher, so download the goodness, download the firmware version. Copy ME installer. Oh, obviously let's enable USB mode. Forgot how you do that. One sec. Oh, there we go. USB connection. So, copy ME folder. So this folder. And I assume this has to go into the... Oh, oops. Wrong place. Let's delete that. We don't need that. I said we don't need that. Suit yourself then. What? Yeah, so I think we need to go into update, which we can delete this file now. And I think it just wants us to dump this folder into the update folder? I mean, we've got all the folders there, so that has to be where it has to go, right? It's going to take its sweet time, so let's skip that. Alright, so that's now put where it needs to be on the SD card. Not SD card, the memory stick. Okay. Oh. Copy ME installer. I copied the whole folder over. PSP game, and then it just goes in game. Right then. .661me installer folder. Exit USB and... Yeah, that's... Pro does sound a bit confusing and professional, and I don't really need anything massive. For installing custom firmware... You may be breaking your device. Okay. Well, that seems pretty straightforward, so... We're gonna quickly cut to another scene where it's just the PSP and see what happens. Well, we've got a thing here that says corrupted data. But, yeah, data is corrupted. Probably should erase whatever that is. But our minimum edition, this isn't a touchscreen, I don't know why I'm bothering. Update launcher for 661, which is what we want. So, we're gonna click it. And we're gonna hope to God we don't brick our PSP, because if we do, we're in trouble. But we've got the power plugged in, we're not going to unplug anything. Oh, that looks Linuxy. Launching, please wait. Okay, CFW 6.61 installer for hackable PSP by Neuron? That's a cool name. It says fixed a bus in VSB menu when save config. Added a something, CPU clock, ISO size, something or something, press X to start the update. Oh, okay, it's just fixes. Flashing, update complete, restarting in 6 seconds. That was really quick. That's what that was. Holy crap. That was really quick. This might be the quickest video I've ever made. Sony Computer Entertainment. It still looks stock, which is what I like. I don't really like custom things unless I want it. Did it do anything? There we go, yeah. ME, so we've installed it. That's good. Does it change anything in About PSP? Oh, it's just the credits. Press the home button, which does nothing. Okay, so that's new. I'm going to basically call this finished. We've basically installed the firmware. This is now a modded PSP. The opportunities are absolutely endless, and yeah. So thank you all for watching this small impromptu video, which will most likely not be as popular as other videos, but you know, I'm starting to get back on the grind now, just pumping out whatever I think is worthy. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.